Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today we're looking at the limber pine, and as you can see from the range map here, it's quite a wide range throughout the southwestern United States and into Canada. Where this video was filmed, it's in Kananaskis area west of Calgary. You can see it's not very common here. This is the northern, getting towards the northern end of the range. These trees here grow generally on west and south facing dryish rocky slopes like this that we're seeing here. This is the upper to mid slopes of Banded Peak in Kananaskis, west of Calgary. You can see it's quite a rocky environment where these rocks are kind of dynamic, meaning they are continuously moving. There's rock fall from the cliffs above. They move in freeze thaw events, this types of things. So these trees are survivors in an area like this, very cold, very inhospitable environment. There are a few other species that live with them. Here's one which is bearberry. You can see it's kind of a evergreen shrub, very low shrub. And this is a stunted Engelmann spruce. It may be older than it seems, being such a harsh environment. These trees, the spruce and everything that grows around, would grow very slowly in these areas. So we'll take a look at some of the needles here. This is one of the defining characteristics of the limber pine. It's a 5-needle group, and you can see that the needles are kind of a medium green, straight, not very long, and they grow in groups of 5. And this they share with the white bark pine, which is also a 5-needle pine. Grows in similar environments and in kind of a similar range. It may be a little bit more common in the Rockies here than the limber pine. So one thing to note is that the lodgepole pine, which also grows in the area, is a 2-needle group, so very easy to differentiate the two. One of the kind of defining characteristics between limber pine and white bark pine is the cones. And we'll see here that the limber pine cone is a little bit longer, a little more cylindrical, and less kind of roundish than the white bark pine. So this one is about 12 centimeters long, maybe about 5 inches. The white bark pine generally don't grow more than 8 to 10 centimeters, so maybe no more than 4 inches. So it's kind of a defining characteristic. These cones kind of open a little bit. They drop to the ground, and then generally during the winter, and then are opened by birds, this type of thing. And the seeds kind of are dispersed that way for the most part. So they're very sought after by the birds in the area because they're a larger seed, lots of energy, lots of good stuff like that. So yeah, and as we look through the area, we're going to see that just how kind of dynamic the area is. Across the valley on the east facing slopes, we get a lot more spruce, a lot more growth. And you can see the slopes on the west side here, very dry. One of the kind of companion plants here is juniper, common juniper. Another one of the characteristics of the area is you can see that the dead wood kind of looks quite old and gray. It takes quite a long time for these things to decompose in the area. It's quite a long winter season. So again, the opposing slope, quite a bit more green, quite a bit more going on there. This kind of the dryness of this slope really limits what grows here. So the other thing is these trees generally don't get larger than 12 meters or so in height. 12 meters, maybe 40 feet. These are quite a bit smaller than that. This particular one here, this is an Engelmann spruce. This is one of the larger ones in the area, and it might have been 8 meters, less than 30 feet tall. Again, you can see that each kind of area where a log or a tree is sitting, it piles up some of the rocks. So these trees definitely aid in stabilizing these types of slopes. As we move forward here, we'll have a look at some of the kind of the root system here. It's quite a wide root system, which it has to be in an environment like this where these rocks are moving. The roots have to spread quite wide and get into the base layers or the bedrock type areas, get into cracks and crevices so they can hold on as the rocks move on the top quite readily. So there's quite a bit of that. You'll notice piles of rocks on top on the upper slope of each tree. So, but a beautiful environment nonetheless. I mean, it's quite on a pleasant sunny day. This is a nice place to be, that's for sure. So, but long winters in this area, they might get to somewhere in the range of 9 months of winter. So, okay. What we're going to do is we'll look at some of the way the bark is when it's younger. It's kind of a medium gray and quite smooth. Now that again is similar to a white bark pine, but as we move down into the older wood here, you notice the bark gets quite scaly and quite rough. So it changes a lot from the older, the difference between the older and the younger bark. These are also important to note. This is quite a long-lived tree. Again, here's another kind of companion plant. That's a cinquefoil, also growing right up to tree line. So, yeah, long-lived, amazing kind of tree, not very common. And yeah, I guess we'll end the video there. Thanks for watching.